Listen here, Captain of the Music Geniuses, just because you have the entire catalog of Rush and Miles Davis in your collection doesn't make your judgments on music the gospel. And try and justify it any way you want, but your baseless hatred of electronic music as a whole is completely invalid, and it shows just how close-minded and overall ignorant you really are. Face it, the days of electronic music being nothing more than a bunch of ecstasy-popping teenagers sucking on pacifiers is long gone, and every year it becomes more and more part of the mainstream sound. And please spare me the argument of it's the computer doing all the work. I mean, by that logic, a guitar player doesn't actually do anything, as the sound itself is created from the vibrations of the strings. In both cases, it's the way that the artist in question manipulates his instrument of choice that makes the music. There just isn't that much difference between a computer and a guitar. I'm sorry, but it's true. Electronic artists, regardless of genre, have to find the right sounds, samples, effects, progressions, and other ways to create the mood that they want, and then place them together in the proper way, much like any musician or composer has to. The difference is, instead of picking up a guitar or drumsticks, electronic artists are pulling various files or sequences to create their own sound. And believe it or not, when you look at those artists who are widely regarded as the most important or influential within the electronic genre, nearly all of them play instruments. In fact, many of them, with Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails of course being the pinnacle, play a wide range of instruments, and almost every instrument on their album is a live recording. Oh, and by the way, that killer hip-hop track that you really love, I hate to break it to you, but that sound in the background was likely done by putting together sounds and samples into a program like Pro Tools or some other software. Pretty much like a majority of electronic music is made. And that crisp new hit rock single that you enjoy, guess how they probably did all those overdubs and got the vocals exactly how they wanted them? That's right, computer programs to manipulate the frequencies and the placement of the various tracks so that it all flowed perfectly. Again, exactly like electronic musicians work in many cases. And to those of you who think that electronic music is some sort of passing fad, let's remember that you can find electronic music all the way back into the 1920s. And over the past 20 years, it's outsold almost every other genre on a worldwide scale. And guess what? Much like rock music or pop music or jazz, all electronic music is not the same. Trance isn't like drum and bass, which isn't like trip hop, which isn't like progressive house, which isn't like glitch, and the list goes on and on. So saying that you hate all electronic music simply because you don't like dubstep is pretty much the equivalent of saying you hate all rock music because Green Day blows. Argue all you want, but the fact is, electronic music is just as diverse and musically worthy as any other genre. And constantly talking down to the style as if it's somewhat inferior just makes your lack of real musical understanding and appreciation even more clear. So honestly, electronic music hater, get over yourself.